This is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network, now in its 7th year. Talk like you've never heard it before.
Hey, hey everybody, this is Alex. Big red letters there, the white letters, and the Ramble. That's the name of the program. We're here until midnight tonight, and here we are. Yeah, it's Tuesday, and it must be Tuesday, I guess. What is this? Papers here. Bought an iPad, and they send you with all this. They give you all this stuff, and it really doesn't amount to anything. But you know what happens every time? Wait, let me open this up here. Will this open up? Gee, it doesn't even look like it opens up. But they always. That's strange. Look at this. It doesn't open up. Let me see here. Oh, here we go. Every time you buy something new from Apple, whether it's an iPhone or it's an iPad or it's a watch or whatever, you get these. And I can't say I've ever used them. Okay? So anyway. But anyway. I got myself an iPad Pro. I'll talk about that later if I feel like it. Anyway, how are you all? Glad to see you. And, this is the night when we admit a friend of ours who will then start talking about things which will drive us crazy. And what picture do you have in back of you there?
All the Gavin Newsom voters.
I see. Okay. Well, yeah. How do you think that's going to turn out tonight?
Well, if the polls are right,
yeah,
and sometimes it's the Hungarians, but right now it's the polls.
Yeah,
put Newsom up 20% to stay the course.
Yeah.
If the polls are wrong, then they got all of these guys to put their vote in tonight.
I see. Okay, so you're saying that if you're one of those Republicans that honestly believes that if Newsom doesn't get recalled, that it's a fix.
No, because he won't. Yeah, he won't get recalled. It's a fix. Definitely.
Okay.
It's in.
Yeah. I love it. It seems to be the constant thing the Republicans are saying every time there's an election. If we win, it's legitimate. If we lose, it's been fixed.
Oh, wait a minute. What did Hillary say when she lost?
Well, she didn't lose.
She lost because Trump sat in the White House for 4 years.
Yeah.
So they're saying the same thing.
She never griped about it. She just said,
God.
No, she never asked for a recount and all of that.
She went off into the woods and started crying.
No. She took it with dignity. She got out. She said, okay, I know I won the popular vote, but that isn't the way we run things in this country. Goodbye, I'll see you later.
This is a revisionist history.
Wait a minute, that's not revisionist history. When did she try to ask for a recount?
She didn't ask for a recount. What she said, she didn't even show up the night that she lost, and she refused to...
Well, because it was supposed to be a victory party, and she didn't win, so she didn't go to a victory party.
I've seen people making it.
You know what you're doing is you're going back to something that happened 4 years ago that isn't even important now.
Yeah, but what's the difference? They all whine when they lose. No. I mean, if we look at what Gore did. Gore said, "Okay, look, enough of this. I throw in the towel." After a month, and the Supreme Court went against him. I didn't throw the towel in for a month.
But you got to admit the vote was awfully close in Florida, and it needed a recount.
Well, they got it.
Okay, well, they got it, and when it came out against him, he disappeared into the woodwork.
All of these problems that they're having in Afghanistan, and I want to talk about Apple products in a minute, but I believe that we wouldn't have been in the Afghan war. We wouldn't have been in Iraq if it wasn't for President Clinton, because he had a shot at getting bin Laden. And instead of getting bin Laden,
It's Bin Laden. By the way, it's Bin Laden.
Ben. I know you're a little sensitive to that because your name is Ben.
Yeah, right.
So so maybe his name was Ben Bennett. Anyway, if Clinton would have gotten him when he had the intel and supposedly the opportunity to do it, we may never have had a 9/11. We may never have had a 20-year war. Well, that was due to Obama.
You're just doing a whole bunch of revisionist history here.
Well, that's what I'm saying about you.
No, I'm not saying anything. All I'm saying is that why is it? It seems that whenever that the rule is that if the Republican wins, it's okay, but if he doesn't win, the fix was in.
Well, it's just if the Republicans lose, they say the fix is in. If the Democrats lose, they say the fix is.
Who's going to win tonight?
Newsom.
Of course. Okay, so you admit to that.
No, you asked me who's going to win. It's not. I don't.
And what you say there's a 20% difference right now. I saw 17, but
close enough.
Yeah.
As long as there's one vote difference.
How do you feel about the fact that $325 million in taxpayer money was wasted on this thing?
I think it was well spent. To get a criminal out of the governor's house in California.
He's a criminal. How's he a criminal?
He's on the take from the lobbyists. He doesn't wear his mask at dinner. There's a number of things that all of this money that's being supposedly used.
You're especially annoying tonight.
Okay, now what I actually wanted to talk about. Now,
wait a minute. Let me finish with this first.
All right, go ahead, because I'll give you a different.
Okay, I would, if I lived in California, I would be insane that $325 million was wasted on this whole thing, which started, by the way, the day after Newsom got into office.
Yeah.
Right? They were already having people sign petitions. I mean, this insanity has got to stop. It just costs your country. Your state could have used that $325 million towards reclamation from the fires.
Now, what about this? How much money did they spend on the Trump-Russia probe that ended up with nothing?
Damn it! So that's not where it's apples and oranges. We're talking about a recall election that just is insane and costs the state a lot of money.
That's what they wanted to do.
It's your tax dollars, don't you?
I'm glad they're finally spending it on something I want.
Oh boy!
Yeah. Hey, do you think? I noticed that you bought another iPad. How many of those do you have now?
Well, the last one I bought 4 years ago.
Oh.
Okay, and the technology has since improved greatly. This has like the M1 chip in it. It's very fast. It's amazing. I can actually do video editing on it. It's that good.
Yeah. Well, I'm using a what do they call it? The iPhone 10.
Yeah.
And I'm being pushed to get a 12 or a 13 by my carrier.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that they're doing shit in these updates to cause my phone to not be able to connect to the internet, for the keyboard not to work, things like that. How can those things happen if they're not programming it as
well? I just upgraded to this new iPad, and it works just fine. It's not making me do other things. What is that?
Because you got a new iPad.
No, that's not it. You know what I did? over the weekend I did something that I was reticent to do. I have in my computer, what operating system do you have currently?
Whatever the biggest one is, Big Sur
Yeah.
or
Okay.
yeah.
Well, I had Mojave in mind for the last 2 years. I haven't upgraded at all because the one time I did upgrade to I don't know, what was the last one? Catalina.
Yeah, that one I had problems. I had problems
I
with
had
Big.
problems with it, and I just didn't want to take the chance on the machine that I do this show with every night of having it just not work, okay, or something go wrong. So finally, I decided, and we're already coming up on the new one, which is I think Monterey or something like that. But I decided maybe it's time I give it a shot, and I'll do it on a weekend. So if things start screwing up on me, I can fix them before the weekend is over.
You have a second machine that you can run the show on as a backup?
Not really. I mean, I could, but there are ways I could do it. Okay, but I really need this machine. Okay, so I upgraded it. Not a single problem.
Really? Well, that's because you waited.
Nothing.
And
Well, there's one little problem I found tonight when I tried to start Butt, which is a backup I use for recording the show. It just questioned, do you want this to go on a ancillary drive or whatever? And I went, yes. It was information that it needed that it didn't used to have before. Okay, but other than that, easy peasy.
Well,
You know?
I had problems. I lost the software for my camera for the the video camera on the computer. When I upgraded, but I upgraded right away, and I had all sorts of issues running certain programs, and now everything is working. But I think that what you did was waited until all the bugs were out of the system. But you see, I think what they're doing is they're trying to force me. I got the original 10, the iPhone 10. I got the first one that came out, and they said that it was going to be a limited offering.
Oh yeah, that was the one that was called the X,
No, it was before well, maybe it was the X.
the iPhone X. Yeah,
The very first one. And they said that
limited. It was going to be limited.
right.
Limited edition.
Right, exactly. So I bought that, and I'm not ready to get another phone. I'm tired of buying phones all the time, and especially this one's still working. But what's happening is I go to use the keyboard because I don't like to talk into the phone to get it to type.
I dictate.
Yeah, well, and when I dictate, I don't know what it is, but maybe it's my pronunciation. But
You just have to get used to how to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the keyboard freezes up. So what I have to do is then go to dictation, say a word, and then I can switch it back to the keyboard and start typing. So I think that Apple is screwing with me and Verizon to try and get me to buy the newest phone.
I would say that's not the case as much as the fact that your phone is quite a few years old. And it's not that they're screwing with you so much as you use a particular piece of equipment like an iPad, iPhone, whatever, it gets more and more kind of cluttered with junk and everything like that. What you really have to do is probably just reinstall everything into your phone, which is pretty simple if you just back it up and then you say, okay, huh?
Doesn't the backup carry all the problems with it?
No, not necessarily. No, and I think that would probably clear it up. Also, I mean, obviously the phone is what, 3 years old, 4 years old,
at least, maybe even more.
Maybe 5.
When did it first come out?
Maybe
with the 10?
I'd say it's somewhere around 5 years.
Yeah,
like
makes
there's
sense.
a new iPhone coming out that I'm thinking of getting, mainly because the camera is even better than the old one.
Well, and that's the other problem is the better camera
has so many megapixels. If you send too many pictures in an email, they won't send.
What?
So, well, let's say you're trying to send 15, 20 pictures, and you try to send it in an email, and they're all 8 megapixel in this camera.
Yeah.
Then there's so many megapixels, and the email won't send, or it'll get bounced back. It'll say that it can't take that larger file.
Yeah. But anyway, boy, nobody's listening. Listening tonight.
22.
Yeah, 22. That's because you're talking about technology.
Yeah.
Nobody gives a shit.
If we weren't, there'd be 15. So, okay, let's get away from technology. So, our friend Gavin Newsom is hopefully going to get a wake up call, but if he wins, it's going to become more draconian.
No, well, what I'm saying is that I think you Republicans have really asked for it, because if he lost, of course, you'd be happy, and you'd be happy having happy fizzy parties, and Larry Elder could then ruin the state. On the other hand, if he wins, and chances are he's going to win, if he wins by a large amount, that's going to be kind of a mandate for him.
Maybe, but he won by a large amount originally, because the state is so blue that they would vote for Genghis Khan.
It's not completely blue. You go down to Southern California, and it's quite conservative.
There's one county, Orange County, that's a big voting block.
Yeah.
That's red. But the rest of the areas, Bakersfield, Eureka, all of these areas, I believe that they're in the valley, that's all red, but the population's pretty sparse.
Right.
So they're not able to carry the power that the blue areas carry.
Mm-hmm.
People are fleeing the state. We've lost a congressperson. That should be the wake-up call.
What do you mean you've lost a congressperson?
Because of the last census, I believe, the amount of Congress people that this state is allowed is one down. So because the population is leaving, a lot of the population is leaving the state. So this is the first time California has actually lost representation because of less people coming here and less people staying here.
Yeah.
There's some other stuff that's happening in the news. Vaccine mandates. Cuomo put in a vaccine mandate in New York, and there was a judge that overturned that. Do you know anything about that?
No, I don't. Didn't hear a word about it.
Oh, okay. Yes. So his one of his last actions as governor has been stayed by.
Wouldn't you think that if that were the case, I would have heard about it?
I don't know. I heard about it for the last day.
Where'd you hear about it?
Just the general news. Actually,
what's general news?
I don't know. I was listening to KNPR in the car today because I had a credit card that got compromised.
KNPR? There is no KNPR.
It's
KQED FM.
Yeah, but it was 90.5. I don't know. This one was in Sacramento. And so I was listening to it, and they were talking about that as well as some other things. But my Sirius satellite bill didn't get paid because the credit card that I was paying it with, and I thought they were going to bill me once for the whole year, but they were billing me every month. And so when that card got compromised and they sent me a new card, I didn't bother re-upping what it was.
Yeah.
And so it got turned off today. So I thought about it and I said, well, maybe I won't listen to Fox News all day. I'll try something different.
Okay.
And so the a couple minutes I was in the car today, I listened to NPR. Is that what it is?
It would be NPR, yeah.
Yeah, NPR. And you could tell that there was bias in their voice when they were talking about the recall and other things. But uh, you might want to Google or see that your vaccine mandate had Cuomo's vaccine mandate had been stayed or overturned. It was a New York judge.
I haven't heard anything about that.
These things are being challenged all across the country, the vaccine mandates, and it seems as though there's some stuff. There's traction with it. People are so up in arms over if you don't take the vaccine, you're killing me. But in Texas, the rest of the country seems to be up in arms with Texas over the fact that they want to protect a child's life to live after was it 8 weeks or 6 weeks?
Something like that. Yeah.
So, that's the women have burdens, and one of them is that they bear children, and they have to have some responsibility with that.
Mm-hmm.
If they can find the fetal heartbeat in a fetus, why? Yeah.
I'm just trying to see something. I'm having trouble with my what do you call it? With one of my cameras here.
I don't understand why you don't use like 35 millimeter cameras with whatever that box is that you need to convert, and this way you run like a 35 millimeter or a video camera. Use those and you can use better lenses.
Well, no, because I don't do it because it's more trouble, believe it or not. And it doesn't give you that better. I mean, I've got very good cameras here. Hold on a second, I got to just do a few things here. I'm sorry, folks, but all of a sudden my machine was going all bad on me. And,
Big Sur.
Yeah.
Big Sur.
Yep. Well, it's no, I've got a problem here. With something. What the hell?
I don't know. I'm looking at you on YouTube.
No, but if I were to go with my let me see here. Hold on a second. Come on. Hold on. Oh, God bless it. I just can't stand this anymore. I'm about ready to give up on all of this. Let me see here. So I go here. Okay. There we go. And, I have no idea.
Try going back to the basics. Just do an audio show 3 nights a week and a video show 1 night a week.
Yeah, well, that would be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Let me see here. I'm trying to get my. For some reason, this is not.
Something that you had to sync for like a second.
No, there we go. There's that. Okay, so it's this one. Okay, here we go, and I've got to go over here. I gotta go.
5 people entered
there we go.
U.S. today from Afghanistan that had the measles.
Okay, my phone, it's better now.
Yeah.
I had a problem with the camera, was a little bit out of sync on my. See, it's on this one. Okay, hold on a second. Let me show people what I'm talking about. It was on this one. This camera is a little off. It's a little out of sync. See. So anyway.
Yeah. Do you think that could be the internet or it's your?
I
camera?
don't know. It's something wrong here. I don't know. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of the technology. I'm tired of putting out fires all the time. In a couple of weeks, I'm going to get my eyes done. I'm taking a week off, and maybe after that, I'll never be back again.
Yeah. You ought to take a vacation. You've put a lot of work into this show for a very long time, and I know it was COVID and everybody was locked down, but maybe it's time you go to Greece or something.
Well, no, I believe. Where am I going to go? Where? Tell me where in the world I'm going to go on vacation.
How about a spa?
You know, I mean, what country is safe for me to go to?
Okay.
Well, Australia, they won't let you in. And then you could get bitten by a deadly spider or snake.
Yeah.
But what's Japan like now?
Japan's horrible.
Oh, really? I thought originally they weren't having a lot of problems.
What do you mean they weren't having a lot of problems?
Japan, South Korea.
They held the what do you call it, the Olympics there, and nobody wanted to go. It was so bad.
Right. That's right. They didn't have an audience.
And where am I going to go? England? Where? France? Where? It's just not. There's nowhere to go. But first, I got to have the eyes done, and I'll be all black and blue for about 2 weeks.
You ever been to Monaco?
Yeah, of course.
I like Monaco. I felt so safe there. They have cameras everywhere, and the police sit in
but
these.
Monaco is like you sneeze and you're out of Monaco.
But that's okay.
I mean, what? I don't want to go to Monaco.
I like that area of France.
Well,
You know,
I like the Côte d'Azur, yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's
There's a little town there that I really love called Ez.
easy.
No, Ez it's pronounced.
Yeah, there's a castle, not a castle, but a fort
Yeah,
up on the hill.
Yeah.
I walked all the way up there.
yeah.
Yeah, I've been to
It's
Ez.
very nice. Yeah.
So you wouldn't want to go back to those places? I mean, nobody seems to be packed in next to one another like you saw on the C-147 that was taken off from Kabul
Yeah.
way to probably Qatar.
Qatar. I don't know. Everybody calls it Qatar, and it's actually pronounced Qatar, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's Ez, and it's Aix-en-Provence.
Yeah, A-U-X.
No, A-I-X.
A-I-X, yeah.
Boy, you really are well traveled, aren't you?
Yeah,
A-U-X. Ox.
I had a badge that a cop gave me in Avignon.
Avignon, that is where the phony popes were.
Yeah, well, that was the
That was the Vatican.
French Pope.
The French popes, yeah. The phony popes. And then what happened was there was a war going on in Italy, so they moved the papacy to France, and then when that little war was over, they wanted to move it back, and France wouldn't let them.
Oh,
You see. So so then you have what they call the phony popes. That's what I refer to them as. And they had phony popes for about, I don't know, 30, 40 years or something, and finally they gave up and they just
more than one?
Huh?
More than one?
More than one? Oh yeah. A couple of them. Yeah.
I went to that Pope's Palace, and
No, the Palais du Pape.
yeah, I believe. I don't remember anymore.
It's called the Palais du Pape.
Well, hey, I've been on this, trying to go on this. And it's not a diet. This guy.
Here we go. Watch the numbers go down.
Yeah, well, they're trying to get me to pre-prepare my meals, and I'm telling the guy, just tell me what to eat and I'll eat it. And he says he won't do that because he needs me to figure it out on my own. And so I'm sort of torn between giving up and quitting. And I just decided that I don't like quitting, and I'm not going to. So I'm having these issues around trying to get the coach to give me the golden key, and he won't give it to me.
Yeah.
So
do you think we really care?
yeah, well, he said that I can get rid of all my diabetes meds in a few months, and
and you're listening not to your doctor, but you're listening to some quack workout guy.
well, this quack workout guy has been doing this for a long.
Something? You don't listen to your doctors.
Doctors just want to give you more pills, more meds.
You want your doctors.
Yeah.
Well,
my doctor said, you want to get off the meds, stop eating carbs. Yeah.
Well, yes, but getting off the meds is a decision for you and your doctor to make, not you and your workout guy.
Well, it's the workout guy is really pounding it in.
No, but you're listening to the wrong people. Well, look, I'm talking to you. You voted for Trump. So,
For him again.
yeah. Yeah. Hey, listen, I got some people waiting to come on here. Can you stick around a little bit?
Yeah, sure.
It's always like, well, don't let me beg you.
Oh, okay. Get on your knees.
Yeah. Let me see here. Here comes Charlie. Here comes Alan.
Charlie's around. He was posting the death report.
Yep. He's not doing. He's not doing baseball right now. So, you know.
Did they stop the baseball because of COVID? Is that
No. They stopped the baseball because why? It's not baseball time. Is that what it is, Charlie?
Well, it's almost at the end of the season.
Yeah.
Well, October is
Playoffs, yeah.
the end, right?
Yeah.
The middle of October, I think.
Yeah. But that's how he earns a living. He's working.
And what am I doing? Smelling fish? You know.
I would say, yeah.
Working 6 days a week. I get up at 4 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
And I got home tonight at 6.
Yeah.
You know, but I like getting up at 4 a.m.
Oh, okay.
You know? I go to the
I like
gym.
going to sleep at 4 a.m.
What, Charlie?
I like going to sleep at 4 a.m.
I go to sleep. I go to sleep at about 2, actually. To be
These
honest with you.
nocturnal guys. Alan's the same way. He usually texts me about 4:30 and says he's going to sleep. You know, I don't understand.
That's because you're up having coffee.
Wait. Hey, turn down your microphone.
Yeah, that was loud.
Really? Sorry,
It's
I
terrible.
did turn it down.
It's terrible.
You might have something click that says auto microphone or something.
Every day.
Could
Every
be.
time I get on.
Low.
Better.
No, it's too low.
I set it back to normal. I don't know why this thing loves to turn my volume up all the time.
Yeah. Yep.
So Phil, just for your information, the iPhone X, aka 10, was other than the first iPhone, was the largest selling iPhone ever. 16 million of them were sold. Verizon released them 11/3/17.
That when I got this?
Yeah, and so, by the way, I have problems with talk to text too. All the words come out, and I'm just too lazy to straighten them out, so I just send it anyhow.
Mm-hmm.
They need to work on that, and they know that it's a problem. We've talked about it a lot. So
Yeah. Well, the other day.
I can help you offline, redo your phone, reinstall the software. You won't lose anything, and maybe it'll straighten out some of your issues.
Well, I had to have Dan call Verizon, and they told him to take the SIM card out because I wasn't getting any voicemail messages.
Right.
And so they took the SIM card out, they stuck it back in, and now it works.
I think what he did is he deleted Larry Elder's name off your phone, and it worked.
We'll see.
The polls are closed. We will soon see the numbers start changing.
Yeah, they call those the 801 people, you know, because the polls close at 8 o'clock. So at 8:01, they start counting.
I think it's going to be a few days before we know the real outcome, personally.
Well, like I told Alex earlier, depending on what the outcome starts looking like, that's when the Democrats will start dumping ballots. They'll all of a sudden find more ballots, you know.
I'm still waiting to see proof of all that stealing election ballot stuffing that happened last November. I still haven't seen any proof of that.
I'll send you the proof.
The Arizona recount.
Check is in the mail.
Well,
Yeah.
he'll send you the proof. What he'll do is actually send you a brochure from My Pillow. So,
I was thinking about getting a My Pillow, and I clicked on it and asked for some information, and then I started getting so many offers, and from it was to the point where I said, I'm not buying this thing. I don't care how good it is. I'm being inundated.
it's supposedly a pretty crappy pillow.
Alan says he likes them.
The best pillow I've ever slept on. I've been sleeping on My Pillows for over 5 years. They're very
They call
durable.
you every day?
Very durable. I have 4 brand new ones, and I have 2 the original ones that I bought, and the 4 brand new ones are still in the package.
Well,
But other companies have come out with the same thing. All it is memory foam cut into 3 or 4 different sizes, and soft, medium, and firm. Then they put more and more in there, and they put it in a pillow thing. So, but
I don't know. I'm using one of those cervical pillows that's a memory foam.
yeah, they're really hard on your neck, actually.
It's not doing the job.
Is this something your fitness instructor recommended?
No, actually, you recommended it.
No, I didn't. No way.
Yeah. Well, I didn't tell everybody that Alan is my fitness instructor.
No. Are the COVID cases leveling off in New York, Alex?
I don't know how they are right now, to be honest with you. I really don't know.
Charlie?
California, the Bay
I
Area.
don't know about New York, but Texas, the level's highest it's ever been. We had 28,000 new cases to date.
Hey,
So you're in
California.
Texas today, Charlie. It was unbelievable.
Hey, Charlie, that's one way to change Texas from red to blue.
Seriously, that's what's happening. All these people dying, 255 of them a day. These are all Republicans. These are all unvaccinated Republicans.
I don't know if it's just Republicans that aren't vaccinated. My body, my choice. Isn't that what they say?
Yeah, but you didn't believe it with women.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, what do you got?
Right, so come on, sing, Jeff.
What should I sing? I'm
I
not
don't know.
I'm not a good singer.
You're not. You got the right voice for it.
Really?
Yeah, I
Wow.
think so. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, you could have been a cantor.
Yeah.
Maybe you're a rabbi. Part-time.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's right.
So you're going to fast, all the Jews on this thing. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 out of 5 participants are Jews. Tomorrow is the eve of Yom Kippur and Kol Nidre.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
And Phil's going to start his fast like never.
Yeah. Well,
He doesn't even show up to synagogue on Yom Kippur.
yes, I do. I'm providing safety and security.
Okay.
Wednesday night.
Guarding the toilet, the porta potty is not safety and
Do
security.
you say that at one of your at this particular place that you do the your thing
Yeah.
that they had a problem?
Yes. They had this guy who I sent you the article. He was arrested, but I guess he's been making threats, and he's a Russian Jew, and
He's been making threats against the shul.
the shul and others. He was fired and he was disbarred, and I guess the guy has a lot of problems. So he can't try to enter the shul. Audio.
Something said,
It's Ray.
There you give him back.
Wait a
We're
minute.
getting an
Talk,
echo,
talk,
Ray.
talk.
You might have your browser on, Ray.
There's something.
No, it wasn't a
Well,
delay.
turn your microphone back on, Ray.
Can you hear me?
Now you see. See, there's a problem. There's a problem.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Okay.
Mike,
How's that?
No.
Things like harmonic.
That echo.
This is the other one. Is that okay?
I give up with it. Everything is a technical problem here. I've been having all kinds of technical problems today.
Is that okay now?
Yeah.
So I wasn't there that night, but Alan knows Hank, and Hank used to be a bouncer at the Oasis in the city, and this guy tried to make entry, and Hank took him out and called the cops, and he had gone to another synagogue down the street, and near, it's called the UC synagogue or something, and he started something there too. So the cops found him and they arrested him. I think he wasn't charged, but he should have been charged. You know, this is not the first time. You get
Berkeley. What do you want?
Yeah. Although you would think that they'd be, the people other than other Jews would be the ones that would be trying to, create a problem. But I like your background. Let me see what I can do. Let's see. There it is. My goal was to, when I asked Ray for this background, was to distribute it so that everyone would have the same background. And I sent it to
the only person that's not calling who has the real one tonight is Tony. So
Yeah.
Man, he'll call.
No, he won't. Nobody's calling tonight. Look at this. Look at this. If you didn't stick around, Phil, look. You know.
Well, you got some pretty good guys there. Hey, Ray, how's your leg? Your knee?
I got a big old brace on it.
Yeah.
And doing my physical therapy, but the pain. The biggest thing is trying to sleep with this thing on. It itches like hell. It's going to take like a year to get better, apparently.
Yeah, but how long do you have to leave the brace on?
Another few weeks, I think.
Yeah.
It just depends on how I'm doing.
Yeah.
So,
I'm
Hey,
sorry.
Ray, how good was Paris for you?
Oh, I didn't go to Paris this time, but I've been to Paris many times.
Oh, okay. But you were in France, didn't you say that?
Yeah, I was in France, but we didn't go to Paris.
Okay. So what was it like?
What, France?
Yeah.
Oh, it was beautiful. I mean, we were up in the Alps. My nephew has a bike and ski store up there in Tignes, which is near Val d'Isère. And I love it there. I'd like to live there. It's the most beautiful place. And then we went to Italy and all over Italy.
Ray, I was years ago. I was working for a company, and I had to go to a trade show for 2 weeks every September in Milan. And I was in Paris, and I drove from Paris to Milan. And so when you go through the Mont Blanc tunnel, you come out, and you're up at the top. You're at a place called Chamonix.
Yeah.
And, you're looking straight at the Matterhorn, and I said, if there's a heaven, and this has got to be it. I had loved something so beautiful as not only Chamonix, but looking at the Matterhorn from that direction. It was
I've been there. I love it there too. There's so many beautiful places in the Alps.
I don't want to top both of you with that, but
Well, he's just asking me questions, so I'm answering.
Harlem? Oh, yes, he wants to
No,
top
I
it.
was actually in Zermatt.
Oh, well.
Zermatt's and Matterhorn's right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been there. It's super expensive.
I had a hotel. I looked outside my window, and there's the Matterhorn.
That's what we had. right out the window, like right out the bedroom window. Boom.
And Zermatt, they don't have cars. In the winter, you are taken by horse-drawn sleigh. You know, what a place.
But it's so expensive there in Zermatt. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My hotel looked over the Matterhorn too in Disneyland.
Oh, look who's there.
There he is.
The
I
real
heard-
wallpaper.
I was in bed. I was in bed listening to you on Amazon Alexa, and I said, Alex says he won't call. I said, "Oh, let me call." I ran upstairs. I am so disgusted, Alex, with these non-vaxxers. I can't take it.
Tell me about it.
Yeah.
So, if people have natural immunity because they had COVID, why aren't they being counted in the mix of the number of people that have immunity or have been vaccinated?
What?
Raised.
I don't know what just happened. Sorry, that was weird.
Yeah.
All I did was turn on a light.
It's punishment for having Tony's background.
Okay.
It is
Sorry about that.
Yeah, I didn't realize how bad the wallpaper was. It was bad.
Well, if
To
Alan
answer your
puts
question,
it up-
Bill,
what's that? Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
The answer to your question is because they only have immunity to one strain. The vaccine gives them the immunity to multiple strains.
Well,
They have immunity to other strains besides the one that they had.
so the MRV,
The MU variant.
yeah, I thought that was just for COVID-19. And why are they having a booster if the original vaccine will protect against the variants?
Because these anti-vaxxers aren't getting vaccinated, and so
Wears out.
the virus is staying out there and continuing to mutate.
And also it starts to wear off, you know, like it dislodges from the RNA or whatever after a while, so you need it.
Yeah, I was supposed to get the third the booster last week, and I canceled it.
What you did?
The reason I canceled it is that they said that after the 16th, the booster was going to have more things that it was protecting against. Is that true, Alan?
No.
No,
It's
you were
the
the
same.
one that
It's
told
the
me.
same. It's the same vaccine. Smart.
However, who is it? Moderna said they are coming out with a booster
Yes.
that
That's
also
different.
has the yearly flu shot included in it.
Well, I
Oh,
already
really?
did.
I can get one shot and get it both done then.
Yeah.
It'll be a while yet, Charlie.
I'm gonna get my flu shot.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to
The,
get it.
the strange thing is the CDC put something out today
Yeah, I heard
saying
that.
saying that Pfizer will probably be the first to be released, and then Moderna. People that have got Moderna
Okay.
already got the 2-shot version probably won't need Moderna until next year.
That's what I heard. It might be good, Alex. That's what I was hearing on the CDC.
Well, I already got mine.
But
Yeah,
well,
but
there's
you got your third, so you're double vax. I may get it anyway. I want to get as many shots as possible in
we'll
there. I don't care.
see what the FDA says about the people that are not immune compromised getting their third shot.
Yeah, but
they're
immune
thinking-
compromised, they say that you can get it right now, and that's why I did it.
I was kind of, on the wall when it came to being immune compromised. They said cancer.
Well, yeah, yeah.
Active cancer.
Well,
Well-
I mean, how long is the amount of time between a cancer being active and not active?
5 years.
There you go.
You got to be cancer free for 5 years till they consider that you don't have cancer.
Right.
That's right.
That's just a statistical thing. If you're actively in treatment for cancer, it lowers your immunity, chemotherapy, radiation, that type of stuff, and that's what they're looking at. Those people that
Those
are
are high
active.
risk.
Well, I don't give a shit. I used mine as an excuse.
Yeah, I would have got it. You should have.
fine.
Yeah.
It just may not make a difference. You may have had enough immunity because they think Moderna. The part of the reason that they think you won't need it till next year is that Moderna is like the king of the hill right now, and people that are getting a third vaccine are wasting their third vaccine.
Now, didn't they?
No.
So then,
No.
if I need more vaccine, I'll get a fourth one next year.
Absolutely.
I'm telling you, you can't go wrong with a shot. It can't. I don't think.
Well,
people are getting double vaccinated, I think.
Well, I got a little bit ill this time.
Oh, you had on the last one, Alex? You got tired?
Oh, yeah.
I was like that on the first shot when I got my COVID.
Yeah.
I was tired that like next day or two. I was falling asleep.
Yeah.
4 days after my second shot,
I was falling asleep, but it was just because I was doing this show. So,
I was just tired. I usually stay up, but I was just sleepy, like achy.
yeah.
Well, with all the experts here, I have a question.
Yeah.
If I took Pfizer, can I switch to the other one?
Where's that from?
What's wrong?
First of all, Ray, mute yourself. Okay.
There you go.
It's you.
It's you, Ray.
Yeah.
There's it's getting feedback. It's like it's not a harmonic, like a loop or feedback.
Yeah.
What was your question, Jeff? I'll raise
My
it.
question is, I took Pfizer, and I took the first and the second. So I'm getting closer to the point where I'm going to get the third. The question is, do I have to take it Pfizer for the third
Yes.
time, or can I
It's best.
I
switch?
think you got to take the same one, right, Alex?
It's
Well,
best.
the FDA and the CDC in the next couple of days will be putting out the information, but right now they're saying don't mix Pfizer and Moderna.
Right.
So, why would you want to take Moderna?
I don't know. I'm just asking.
What was the difference between the Pfizer and the Moderna? Why are
The
they?
carrier, the chemicals that carry the vaccine, is my understanding. So, but they don't want, because they haven't done a lot of studies on it. They don't want you to mix them. So, but people have mixed them, and not with bad results. But when you mix them with a few 100,000 people, and you don't have bad results, that's fine. But if you mix them with millions of people, you may start seeing problems, and then you don't know if it was the Pfizer or the Moderna or what. So, it's I don't know. I think in time it probably won't matter. That would be my guess.
Yeah, because in time we'll all be dead.
Well, that's probably true.
Everybody get cremated at once, save some money.
Especially us over 65. That leaves Tony out.
I mean, you know, I don't want to join my mom anytime soon. I mean, I love her, but I don't want to see her anytime soon.
Nobody talks about the Johnson and AstraZeneca and all of those things. Aren't they on sale?
What's that?
AstraZeneca isn't approved in this country. AstraZeneca isn't approved in this country. Johnson & Johnson, the reason, it was the stupidest question I ever heard by anybody from the press. And they said to the CDC, well, how come you're not saying anything about the time frame for the Johnson & Johnson? Well, there was a reason for that. The Johnson & Johnson came out about 3 or 4 months later than the other ones. So it isn't time to even talk about Johnson & Johnson yet.
So they're thinking that the Moderna against the Delta right now was 6 to 8 months out is still about 90% effective, and Pfizer is about 80% effective, and they're thinking Johnson & Johnson's about 60% effective. So based on studies around the world, so people that are on Johnson & Johnson are fine. And Alex, you got a very valid point. I think they're looking into that. As long as people are getting protection from Johnson & Johnson, why stir the boat?
Well, I mean, but also, I mean, they didn't approve the Johnson
Right.
& Johnson until about 4 or 5 months after the first ones got approved. So, of course, they're not ready to say, okay, it's 8 months since the last Johnson & Johnson, because the last Johnson & Johnson for most people was only maybe 3-4 months ago.
Yeah. You're getting hung up on 8 months for all of them, and the mRNA is what the 8 months has been looking at. mainly the studies they're using is the Israeli studies, and they used Pfizer exclusively in Israel. So they're thinking the Moderna is still a lot better than the Pfizer, and the Johnson and Johnson you can't really clump into the 8-month thing because there hasn't been any studies done on it.
Right.
So and like you said, it came out a lot longer later, probably still protecting good.
Yeah.
Where are the Israelis getting their data on Moderna if they used Pfizer exclusively?
What's that?
Well, how are the Israelis getting their statistics on Moderna?
They're not.
They're not.
They're not. They use Pfizer exclusively. We're doing the Moderna stuff, and Moderna looks like it's still stronger than Pfizer.
It wasn't originally, right?
No.
Half a point difference, like 94.5 to 95%.
Which one did you get, Phil?
I got the Pfizer. I got.
Right.
We got him beat, Alex. Oh, you'll be all right though. Half a point.
We're gonna, we'll get our vaccine. You see it. You'll see in the next couple of days. Pfizer will be the first one released to get a third vaccine.
So you just got to get your booster.
Yeah. He's anti-vax. He's not going to get his booster now.
They won't even get the first.
Oh, I was going to get the booster, but I thought that maybe enough time didn't go by. I'm feeling pretty wrong, and I figured maybe I wasn't doing myself the best service by getting it early. And
That's right. That's right.
I should have waited. Wait a little and get it when it's going to give you the longest amount of protection.
I love these people are saying they're waiting for all the evidence to come in. What evidence? How many millions of people have had this shot and they're not growing a third arm?
It's crazy.
These
And
are
it's not
morons.
turning the Democrats into Republicans.
These people
so
are
we're okay.
morons, and they're also killing other Americans by not taking it.
Absolutely.
And now the kids are getting hit really hard with it.
Yep. If the anti-vaxxers join the crowd early on in the first 6 months.
Remember your boy Trump, Dr. Trump, who did say that children didn't get it.
Yeah, he did say that. Remember that?
Yep.
He's
At the time, children weren't getting it. I think
they just weren't testing him, Phil, probably.
They weren't getting it in the first version. Now we're in the fourth or fifth version, and the variants are just a lot different.
Yeah. So you can't hold them to that statement now that.
Well, when are you going to give up on Donald Trump? When are you going to admit, like for instance, we got a general now. I'm trying to remember his name now. Hold on. What's his name? Yeah.
Fucked up Afghanistan or helped to do that?
Oh, that wasn't the boss.
No. This is. Hold on a second.
This is while Trump was getting ready to leave office, and he was afraid that Trump might push the codes or in the football to send missiles over to somewhere.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, he's been in the news today.
Biden will sell them to the Chinese.
No,
he was saying,
he circumvented. He changed the code so Trump couldn't take the football and push the buttons in the middle of
Book
it.
bombshell. General feared Trump would use nukes in last days. China believed that attack was imminent. Okay, that's how close we came to it because of your little boy there, Phil.
Yeah. Well, China believes a lot of stuff.
No. This was a general who was afraid of it.
One of the Joint Chiefs.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they had a plan. They had a plan in case he tried to do that.
That's right.
It looks like it's falling apart too. Look, I'll go ahead, Ray.
I was just listening to the whole sequence of events on that. So Nancy Pelosi talked to Mackey and tried to convey to him that she was very concerned about what Trump's actions might be given his stance on the January 6th situation. And he talked with her for a long time. There's actually Woodward and Bernstein actually have a not a recording, but a transcript of the entire
conversation. It's not Woodward and Bernstein.
conversation.
It's Woodward and the other guy.
The other guy, yeah. And Yeah, so Mackie had a long conversation with her. He ended up like agreeing with her, and so he decided to call the generals together just to say, please don't do anything if Trump orders it militarily until I'm involved. That's all. And then the Chinese contacted him, and he assured them everything was going to be fine.
Yeah, that doesn't sound as bad as you made it originally, Alex.
What do you mean it doesn't sound as bad?
Hey, they were just a
Almost.
How much worse does it get than that the Joint Chiefs of Staff are worried that this president's going to go rogue on them?
Right.
Yeah, Mackie Mackie and Pelosi both felt that was a possibility, and they needed to do something to prevent it from happening.
And they did.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I think that's just a natural. I mean, they're supposed to defend against enemies, foreign and domestic.
Yep.
I mean, when are you going to give up on Trump? When the fuck are you going to give up on Trump?
When you start liking him.
He's gonna run again.
Yeah,
even if you like him, Phil. I mean, the way he was acting that day. I mean, I think anybody would probably want to just make sure he wasn't losing it, even if he wasn't.
I don't think he was.
Yeah, but see, like you're not be sure. You can't be sure because of like that speech he gave afterwards, and the fact that he didn't do anything about it for hours, and the fact that he kind of like him and Giuliani and the other guy were like inciting people to go over there.
I agree. That's probably a good thing to have some contingency plans.
Yeah, that's all. I think that's all they did. I mean, because they didn't do anything. They didn't do anything.
But the fact that
they weren't going to do anything unless he took like extreme steps.
Well, but here's the thing: the fact that they were worried that he might, and that they had to have a contingency for that.
You have a contingency for everything, you know.
You don't have a contingency for a president who goes rogue.
Like the Chinese thought that the bomb was imminent.
Phil, if they felt that he was going to go rogue, isn't that enough for you to say maybe there was something a little off about this guy?
Maybe the Chinese had flipped the second to the last switch on their missiles coming this way, and we're waiting for Trump to go rogue.
I think going rogue or thinking he was going to go rogue was an overreaction. Pelosi has overreacted to everything that Trump has done.
But it wasn't just Pelosi. It was this general. How was it an overreaction? I mean, he was he encouraged the people to go down there. Giuliani actually said to be violent, and so did the other guy after Giuliani. And then Trump didn't do anything for hours, and then he was saying that he loved them.
Yeah.
I mean, how is that not? That's just weird to me. I don't care if it was a Democrat or a Republican, whoever said that.
No, I don't know.
I wonder if they've done this for other presidents quietly.
Maybe.
What about Nixon?
I mean, Reagan was pretty out there.
Reagan was his only problem is that he really didn't have his wits about him. I mean, he was already well into Alzheimer's by the time he left
couldn't
office.
remember who you were.
Biden. What about Nixon when in his last days? Do you think that with the football?
I don't know.
I don't know. God, these are all Republicans. What's up with this?
It has to be after the nuclear age, because that's when annihilation is the threat.
Well, the nuclear age started when we set off the first atomic bomb.
when you've got the the generals worried about this thing, you got to know that there's a definite problem there. And I don't know why you constantly defend this guy who has been shown to be completely off the hook.
Well, that's your opinion.
What do you mean it's my opinion? How many agree with that opinion? Would you raise your hand, please?
On that day, I was worried.
That wasn't just my opinion.
I mean, with the whole thing about the election being rigged, it was stolen. Go down there and
let your voices be heard.
Phil is going to be saying the election stolen again in California.
Oh, Phil, do you believe the presidential election is stolen? Do you actually believe? You don't believe that, do you?
By the way, the headline right now at what do you call it? On Drudge is, are you ready for this? Big red letters. Newsom wins in blowout.
Yay.
Oh,
NBC News just predicted Newsom will win big time.
Big time.
Yeah.
I mean, God, we would have ended up with that elder. That would have been
they
insane.
call that bigly.
Maybe he made that word up bigly. He does
You know,
make up
you
his
know,
own
Phil,
word.
maybe
Oh
you should
my
have
God, he's so
maybe you
fucking
should have
wrong.
got your third vaccine, Phil.
So
If Elder got in office, he'll screw that up.
Yeah.
Phil, I think you ought to move to Florida.
Elder.
And what this is going to do, what this is going to do is it's going to come back to blow back on the Republicans in California, because if Newsom had power before,
Oh, now.
he's really got power now.
I'd make their life fucking miserable, really, if I could.
He comes up for re-election next year.
There's only 4 Republicans,
Do whatever I want.
and I'm
But
one
you
of them.
know, but you know what the problem is, though, Alex? I was listening. I could have heard it wrong, but I was listening to 1010 Wins this morning, and I think they said that Larry Elder was already saying that the election was rigged out there, and Trump was
yes.
going.
He's been
He
saying
was
that.
already truncating this even before he knew it was going. See, this is what I'm saying. They're putting these false flags out there.
Yep. Constantly.
Well,
He actually posted on his website yesterday that Newsom had won and that he had rigged the election.
This,
Yeah.
It just came out
he keep
early.
getting away with this.
It was
California has
Larry
California has
Elder
one of
has
the
sex with ponies. I mean, he's a weirdo.
Well,
California is one of the safest.
let me throw this one out about something Larry Elder said last week, that the slave owners during slavery, when it was abolished, were deprived of their income, and the whites and the relatives of the whites who had their slaves taken away from them are due reparations.
Yeah, that was great. Wow. I heard that. I heard him say that.
Yeah.
That was wild.
Yeah, that was very crazy.
Actually,
Actually, also
And he's a
because
black
they
man.
already got reparations.
Right. They were.
Holy
They were
shit.
given reparations in right after.
Well, anyway, the point I'm making here is this from a black guy.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know.
really.
It's like
he's
it's like
this
Candace
fucking
Owens.
mob.
Candace Owens is the same way.
He
It's
keeps
just-
trying to say
oh,
I was raised in the ghetto. Oh, good.
Really?
Okay. You know.
You can take the boy out of the ghetto, but you can't take the ghetto out of the
He
boy.
wasn't raised in the ghetto. If he had been raised
sold
in
his
the ghetto-
soul,
Didn't
man.
Elvis Presley sing that song?
Yeah.
Wrote that song.
But I'm glad that Newsom didn't only just win this one. It's a blowout, is how
Wow.
Drudge puts it.
It's going to be a few days before it's official.
And you know, if Drudge puts out blowout on his page,
I'm going to go to his page.
It's a
now.
blowout.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. So.
Elder already said he will not concede, just like Trump.
Fox News has just said that they believe Newsom will win. Even the Republicans are they want to keep their advertising money up.
Oh my god. Oh yeah, it's on his name. So yeah.
Oh, Alex, I was just looking, and it says Governor Cuomo's state COVID-19 mandates are lifted.
Really?
well,
Yeah,
they may be
As the
lifted.
Republican
They may be
News.
lifted because they're no longer needed.
No,
Phil, do you realize Phil has spent the better part of the last half hour trying to prove himself right?
well, no, I
And
just
now
thought
he's finding anything that even says something remotely close to that?
In defense of Phil, when it comes to politics, he's totally off base. When it comes to other things, he's right on, for the most part.
Yeah,
Yep, I know that's true. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
It's true. It's
You can
true.
send me a check later, Phil.
It must be true. If Trump said it.
But it is true. It is true. No shit. He's a really smart guy. His politics, but you know.
Oh, I don't know that he's a smart guy. I think you're pushing it on that one.
Mentally challenged? No, he
Well,
owns
I
business.
call him a
He thinks
nice
he's losing money. Imagine he's losing money. They got to pay him when he comes out.
You should see the stuff he says about you, Alex. I'm just kidding.
But by the way, my newest thing is that I've been taking these drugs, and they've gotten to the point where they're really starting to affect me. I'm having a hard time remembering stuff.
You know, it's
Why don't you-
terrible.
Why don't you ask your doctor to rather lower the dose or
Read
change
them
it
all.
to a different
I already
medicine?
lowered the dose once.
It
Well,
was
you know,
from the
Alex,
extra
my dad
vaccine.
has taken the same thing, and the same thing's happening to him.
Yeah.
And
As you get
I told
older-
him about you, and he's not doing anything about it.
Yeah, as you get older, most people can't tolerate the same dose they could 10 years earlier or whatever. So,
Yeah,
Well,
my goal is to get off of as many of the drugs that I'm taking as possible.
yeah,
That's-
listen to your whatchamacallit guy.
yeah, but anyway, I'm just you know, so today, last night I decided not to take it, and I couldn't sleep.
Wow.
Okay, so then I took a Xanax to put me to sleep, and then I was drugged all day. You know, it's a terrible thing. I don't know what I'm going to do about it. But yesterday, I went in and I bought a new iPad, and they asked me, "What is your PIN number?" You know, PIN number for whatever, and I couldn't remember my PIN number because how I remember it is as a alpha, not as a numeric, and they were handing me this thing with just nothing but numbers on it.
Oh, okay. That should be like my phone
And I
number.
couldn't remember it. I just couldn't get my brain around it to come up with the number. I finally did, but that worried me. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
is this thing?
I got a lot of different passwords. I would be concerned too.
I can't remember any of the passwords anymore.
That's why I write them down.
I
I
some-
do that.
Well,
get
what-
to write it down. You know?
Well, I'll tell you what's really a pain in the ass, without question, is this two-step verification bullshit.
Oh, I don't do it. I don't do it. My brother does
What do you
it.
mean you don't do it? Some places won't let you not do
They
it.
do it.
Like
Oh,
banks,
really?
for instance, they force you to do it.
Yeah, they say after a certain date you have to have two-step verification. So I'm sitting here and I have to have a cell phone to get my number for two-step verification. Suppose I don't own a cell phone.
Then they'll send it to an email.
Suppose I
email.
don't have an email.
It's a headache.
Can you open the window yet?
You have to send it by the post.
So
Mail.
Phil, this guy wants you to create your own menus. I mean, didn't you just leave the guy a menu from Burger King and Circle Whoppers?
Oh, I can do it for birthday.
Not what he wants.
Oh, by the
You know.
way, here is some of the turnout here. 88% for Gavin in San Francisco.
What else is
Yeah.
76% in LA.
well,
61% in San Diego.
About Orange County.
That's a blowout.
Orange County tends to be a Republican strong.
I know.
And by the
that's what I
way,
asked.
this is another happy piece of news. I just saw this. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Let me go look at this. Hold on a second, folks.
fake news.
Bob Enyart
Yeah.
used his conservative media platform in Denver to mock those who died of AIDS by name.
Oh yeah, he
Or
died.
call
today.
for women who receive abortions or to face the death penalty. Recently, the talk show host, who has successfully sued the state over mask mandates and capacity limits in Colorado churches last year, joined a chorus of conservative voices who have bashed the coronavirus vaccine and vowed to stay unvaccinated. Well, guess what?
What happened?
Yeah.
He died of COVID.
Thanks, Ma.
God has spoken.
Yeah.
I'm glad. I don't want to be mean. I'm kind of glad. I don't wish it on the guy, but look at all the
Oh,
horrible
I
things
wish
he
it on the
did.
guy. I wish it
Yeah.
on the guy. And
Oh,
I'll
I
tell you-
do
I'll-
too.
I mean, I'm not going to lose any sleep
I'll
over it.
tell
But
you
also
why.
he got
I'll
paid
tell you
back.
why I wish it on the guy, because this guy, by saying what he was saying on the air to some very uninformed people, made them not go out and get vaccinated.
Yep.
Okay,
He
and
killed
thereby may have caused a lot of deaths on his own before his came along.
You're right.
Yep, I agree.
And which is not good.
What's his name?
Asshole.
It's all over the news today, Ray.
Oh, okay. I didn't.
His
Yeah.
name is Bob Enyart. I never heard of him, but he's the fifth one.
People have the right to think whatever they want, and if they suffer,
Phil, he's a broadcaster. He has a responsibility to his audience to protect them.
doesn't stop MSNBC from saying what they say.
Well, like what? What do they say?
What did I say?
What do they what do they say that's dangerous to the health of people?
He's not going to be able to quote because he doesn't listen.
No, come on. What did they say, Phil?
You know, I'm thinking more about what they've said negatively about Trump that wasn't true. And
no, Phil, forget that. That's not what we're talking about here.
Death. We're talking about death.
I think that people should have their own opinion, and if it's not your opinion, and they suffer the consequences.
No, we're talking about people who he had probably caused to die because of his misinformation that he was giving out on the air.
That's misinformation because you don't know that anybody died from his information.
I would be willing to bet there was at least one. Okay.
Your theory has no grounds.
Phil, you're saying then that you don't think that him giving out that kind of information caused the death of anyone?
He's got an audience.
Huh?
People have a choice as to what they...
Phil, I'm not saying that. People listen to radio. They think the information they're getting is right, that the guy wouldn't be lying to them on radio and whatever. All of a sudden, all those dings, by the way, are all the news items that are coming through
I'm
here
getting them too.
saying that Newsom has won.
Fox News just changed their stance. They said that he won. Days in office. I love it.
He did?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, all the clicks, all the noises he's getting, I'm getting ABC, AP, they all said that he won, and Fox News agreed. I got to look. Days in office.
Yes, Ray.
What amazes me about this guy Enyart is they're willing to take their fanaticism so far that they're willing to risk their own lives and die for their fanaticism.
Well, here's the thing.
I have no problem if he kills himself.
No, but isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, it's kind of it's crazy.
Here's the thing. These people go on the air as talk show hosts, and they act like everything they say has got to be right and the truth. Okay? Take it from me. Don't take that vaccine. It's going to grow a third arm on you.
Is that really what he said? Do you know what he said?
No, it says here he joined a chorus of conservative voices that have bashed the coronavirus vaccine and vowed to stay unvaccinated. That's what he said.
To his grave.
No, he's still unvaccinated.
Right to the grave.
We can't hear Phil because
Harry said that she wasn't going to take the vaccine either because it was introduced by Trump and she didn't trust it. So, now her thing, couldn't that have also killed?
Who said that? Who said that?
Harris.
Kamala Harris?
Yeah. I've never heard.
We have it on video where she got her vaccine.
She was.
But he said that as long as those vaccines were introduced by Trump, that she was not going to trust them. And
that's not what she said.
That's not what she said, Phil, according to Charlie. Charlie, what did she say?
Doctor, she said if Fauci and the CDC vouched for it, she would take it.
Yeah, that's what I thought she said. Yeah.
Right.
She said
you're wrong, Phil. You're wrong.
Whoever released it, we don't care. It's like he was trying to push the vaccine before the CDC was willing to say it was okay.
Yeah, it was called experimental. But the thing is that she said that she wasn't going to trust it. And her actions were no different than
Phil, at the time that she made that statement, the vaccine wasn't available. At the time that you claim that she made those statements, the vaccine was not available.
That's right.
I don't know where I'm going to find it, but I'll find it.
You won't, of course.
It was over a year ago she made those statements.
Yep.
During the summer.
Go to conservatives don't know their ass from a holeintheground.com.
Was the Vice President of the United States.
Put a thing on that. Save that.com.
I don't know what happens with
Here's what she said. I have it right here. It says, I will say that I would not trust Donald Trump on the reliability of the vaccine. I added that she would trust a credible source who could vouch that a vaccine was safe for Americans to receive.
Right, but she
said she wouldn't trust Trump, but she would trust somebody like a Fauci who was a credible
source. Yeah.
Yeah.
FDA, CDC, Fauci, somebody like that.
I mean, that's what it said. That's the quote.
for
So
Stalin.
everybody have a drink. Phil was wrong again.
Oh,
They wouldn't trust the vaccine if it came from Trump. And so
No, if he was the only one that said it was safe, but if it was a credible source
Others
said it was safe, she said she would take it.
others said it was safe. But, the thing is,
Credible source.
look, there's a lot of people that would support Kamala Harris in her opinions, and she could have killed people just like Alex is saying that this talk show host made a statement.
No.
The vaccine wasn't even available when she said it.
Matter.
Republicans are not going to listen to her.
And by the way, at the same time that she was saying that, Phil, she also said, wear a mask.
Yeah, well,
And Trump told people last week to get vaccinated, and they booed him. And they're not, and they're still not listening to him.
Nobody listens to him.
what the comparison was, whether there was a vaccine available or not. You got Kamala.
Phil, don't try to make. You're trying to change the whole nature of what was said and wasn't said and when it was said. And the fact is that if Kamala Harris was one of the first political people, one of the first people in the administration to sit there as a photo op and get the needle stuck in her arm.
But a day before, or a few days before, she said she wouldn't trust it if it came from Trump.
No,
If it came from Trump.
Oh yeah, that's what he said, Trump.
Well, I wouldn't either.
Yeah,
If
the vaccine didn't come from Trump.
If Trump sold a vaccine and the CDC said it wasn't safe, I wouldn't take it.
Look at what Alex is saying about this talk show host,
Mhm.
a lot of people with misinformation.
Yeah.
And I'm saying,
Well, he got what he deserved.
What misinformation did Kamala Harris get? She said if it came from Trump and not from a credible source, she would not take it. How's that misinformation?
She instilled fear.
Phil,
and,
you're trying to make a case where there is no case to be made.
fear and doubt. Fear and doubt.
Phil
This
will
was
never.
like months. This was so many months before. This was like when vaccines were just being talked about.
They had come out. They'd been in.
Well, they hadn't come out.
No, they
It
hadn't.
was
testing.
September 2020.
Nope.
It didn't come out till
They
January.
just started testing them and test people in September. of
September
2020.
2020. Wasn't that at the beginning of the testing?
Yes.
Like the middle
Yeah.
of it?
That's correct. The beginning of it.
Yeah, we didn't start giving out the actual vaccine until January of this year.
So I think your point was is she didn't want to take it until it was said it was to be safe by
When
like
did
the CDC.
when did Kamala Harris make that statement?
And it's Kamala.
September 5th, 2020.
And when did they start? When did they start testing?
Oh, well, I don't know when they started testing.
I thought you said September 20th.
No, she. I don't know. I'm just saying. I see the date of when this.
She
was,
said
September
basically
5th.
she wasn't going to listen to Trump, but she would listen to a
right.
medical authority. You
That's
know.
it. That's what the bottom line
I
is.
mean, she was being political.
Yeah.
Yes, very political. And she
I agree.
All right, Phil.
was
Phil,
being smart.
just admit you're wrong, and we'll have done with it. Okay.
Trump was telling people to take hydroxychloroquine.
never
Anyway,
admit you were wrong.
and we're all going to
And
take
bleach.
and bleach.
And
We need to
bleach.
take bleach.
Well, tomorrow.
Anyway, and don't forget to take the horse dewormer. Anyway,
No one. Good night, Miss Fred.
hey, listen, we got to go here. We're running out of time here. That's our citizen panel for tonight. Phil, thank you so much for sticking around. I appreciate it, so that we could just
Bye, Phil.
vilify you
We love you, Phil.
constantly. We love you, Phil. Yes, Charlie Wallace, thank you, Alan, thank you, Jeff, thank you, Ray, and thank you to Tony. Everybody give a big wave goodbye, and I give a big wave goodbye back at you. Okay, there they go, ladies and gentlemen. That's our citizen panel for tonight. If I'm a little out of sync here, please excuse me, but there's something wrong with this camera. I don't know what it is. I can't figure it out, so I won't try and do anything about it. Anyway, that's it for tonight. I'll see you again tomorrow night. We'll be here at 10:30 Eastern Daylight Time. Eastern Time. Same time, same station in life. In the meantime, as always, if you see her, tell her I love her, okay? All right, bye-bye. And by the way, hey, get a vaccine or wear a mask or do something. Don't listen to Phil.